What is up, YouTube? Live via satellite here, and today we are talking Kingdom. In particular, guys, today I want to discuss, does Zhao now have the advantage? And when I sat down and thought about this question, guys, I actually think they do. For some reasons that are actually obvious, and for others that may be a little more subtle. And we're going to be sure to break it all down today. But before we get into that, guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We talk a lot about Kingdom. And if you like the video, it really helps out if you like the video. Now, just like Roboku, guys, I am fresh out of YouTube jail. And like my man Barbarine says here, I got to try to keep my nose clean, all right? But out of spite, guys, I want revenge. So if you didn't get to see the Rishin celebration, go check it out. It's back up now. And while you're there, obliterate the like button so that justice may be served. Chapter 644, man. What can you say, man? This chapter was a crazy chapter. Like, King Tojo is finally gone. And let me tell you, this guy went out with a bang, didn't he?
Can you hear me now? Good.
And listen, we already knew this man was sick, but when he bit his son's ear off, are you kidding me? But Har knew what he was doing because it made me hate this character even that much more, to the point that it was so satisfying when we see all the little boys exacting their revenge on the king. And just seeing the king's face when he realizes that the reason he's coughing up blood and his rectum's exploding is because he was poisoned by the little angels he thought he could trust the most. And yeah, they did look kind of creepy, right? And it's going to be really interesting to see who was the one who actually put the kids up to it. Was it the queen maybe being upset after seeing her son's ear get chopped off? Was it Prince Ka after not being able to convince his father to set Roboku free? Hell, it could have even been this old dude, who knows? But what we do know is that Tojo is now finally out of the way. And just that one thing right there gives Zhao a huge advantage. And this is the thing that's most obvious, right? I mean, this post on Reddit says it the best. The king was literally one of our best allies. And with our #1 supporter now gone, it opens so many doors for Zhao. With Prince Ka on the throne, he kind of reminds me of Ace. He's going to bring a different type of energy to the state of Zhao. Unlike his predecessor, he knows the value of Roboku, and I don't see Roboku having any issues getting all the resources he needs from Prince Ka. So for the first time ever in the series, we're probably going to get to see Roboku without a handicap. And I personally think that's big. But another huge advantage that's going to come out of this is that all the talent that has been ducking the king will probably gladly serve Prince Ka. And a prime example of this for sure is definitely going to be Shibasho. But who's to say he's the only one? Tons of other military grades could come out of the woodworks once they hear the good news that their king is dead. That's just so sad. But again, this is all assuming that Prince Ka actually does become king. Because unfortunately, there is a chance that he may not. And this is all due to the panel that we see right after Tojo and Ka have their little moment.
Lend me your ears!
Tojo, as Ka's leaving, first asks for Kakukai to be brought to him. But then after thinking about it for a second, he says no, bring him the records clerk. And this was actually pretty interesting because it could mean a couple different things, right? The first theory I've seen from a lot of people is that the king may actually pass down the throne to someone else. The king's twisted and all, but he knows his life is at risk. And he knows if he were to die, Prince Ka would take over. And since he doesn't see eye to eye with them, maybe he wants someone in power whose views more align with his. So yeah, that would throw a whole monkey wrench in everything we were just talking about, but there are some other possibilities, right? Another possibility could be that maybe he wants it recorded that if anything were to happen to him, he wants Roboku's execution to proceed as planned, which honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised by because this man hates Roboku with a passion. The only other thing I could think about that would make Tojo possibly want to call the records clerk is that something Prince Ka said actually got through to him. And the thing that kind of stuck out to me is when Prince Ka told him that if he did all these things, his name would forever be besmirched in the pages of history. So maybe Tojo wants the record keeper so that he can put his own little twist on why exactly Roboku had to be executed. I mean, listen, everyone he's around already sees him as a scumbag, right? And that's fine, but to be an eternal scumbag where every generation thinks you were shit? Yeah, I don't even think Tojo wants that. And I know it's easy to think that he doesn't care, but you can kind of see that he does when he's in the tub with the kids. When he kind of lays out that he doesn't really like the way everybody treats him. So yeah, those are the only couple of things I could think of that this panel could possibly mean. But I'm really hoping Prince Cod takes the throne because things could get really interesting if he does. Because even though we went over a lot of the advantages that the Zhao now have with Tojo dead, there is one major advantage that we didn't go over that I think gives Zhao a tremendous ace in the hole that could possibly win them the war. And that to me, guys, is simply the element of surprise. Right now, we have the Qin forces trying to rush into battle so that they can take advantage of Raboku's execution. And it's the perfect strategy because with the execution of Raboku, not only will the Zhao forces be like demoralized, but they have no one who would be able to match wits with Osun. So striking while the iron's hot, it would essentially be a W. But if Zhao can keep it top secret that Raboku's alive, if they can even fake his execution, then there's going to be a lot of hoeing from Osun when he sees Raboku stepping onto the battlefield. And the reason this is such a big deal is because Osun said it himself. Him and Raboku are pretty much equal. It was the pawns who were actually the difference makers in the battle for Gyou. So obviously, if Osun knows this, so does Raboku. So if Raboku and Osun cancel each other out, all Raboku has to do is show up with significantly greater pawns than he did at the Battle of Gyou. And trust me, with Tojo now dead, I think he's gonna have those pieces. But anyway, guys, that about does it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments section below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it and feel free to share, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.